Epstein with your morning flash update for this Tuesday, the 15th of February, 2022, time about 8:25 a.m. And remember, you can go out and get those flowers today, probably at a discount that you didn't get over Valentine's Day. So I know when I went to bed last night, which was late, probably around 12, I was watching Bloomberg and I saw the markets were basically lower. Woke up this morning, they were sharply higher, as you can see. So what went on is some of the Russian troops have pulled back. But the further you look into it, those troops are based, the ones that they're talking about, I just read a report on it, very close to the border. They went back to their base. That doesn't mean that you've got massive troop withdrawal, and NATO said as much. But the market is hoping. Now, tomorrow is the day that the invasion was supposed to happen. I don't know. Ukraine's calling it a peace day. Today, what we have is German Chancellor Scholz. He's with President Putin right now. They're on stage holding a news conference. I never thought today would be a day where you'd see an invasion with the two heads of state meeting. That would be pretty embarrassing. And remember, Russia and Germany have an unusual relationship. One of Russia's main exports is natural gas, and guess who's the biggest buyer of it? That would be the wrong thing to do. But the fact that there's some diplomatic movement has taken pressure and put it on to all the grains. You've got the 10-year note back up to 2.03, 2.04 today. You've taken off a lot on the energies because this pulls out that bubble. Oh, Russia's going to shut off energy or whatever. I never thought that would be the case to begin with, and I've said that here. In the metal markets, backing off a little, but I'll tell you, Dr. Copper's still acting great. It is telling you the world is still on a good road here, not a bad road, and that as much as we see these inflationary numbers, the question is, are they transitory or not? Won't matter. You're still going to pick the economies up. 47% of small business in America, on a survey just came out today, are going to raise prices very shortly. As you look at the foreign currency market, dollar down a little bit on this news, and you're getting a bounce in most currencies against that. Now, as I said, a lot of news today. The defense ministry in Russia, they pulled back some troops. Okay. Lawmakers, though, remember the proposal? Well, now they, in the Duma, which is their state body, they have moved to recognize the independence of two breakaway Ukrainian provinces. That gives President Putin the wherewithal under his directive of his country to go in and protect those provinces. This was supposed to be put off to the 20th. This took place now. The New York Fed Empire numbers are terrible. There's no other way to say it. 3.1, they expected a 10 reading on the manufacturing index. Your employment index went up. That is good news, okay? But everything else you start looking at, new orders up a little bit, but you start getting into some of this other problem areas, and I don't like it because PPI soaring to the upside, double what the trade was looking for. So that's going to be the argument that James Bullard comes out with as he's the big hawk right now. He's got the center stage. The 50-point basis hike, 1% by July. And others will say, no, the Fed's going to be prudent. They'll give you the quarter-point hike. They might go the half if the numbers, the inflation numbers are really rough come March. The problem is, without a big break in the commodity markets immediately almost, the way the data is collected, you're going to have a hot number. I mean, just take a look at all the futures markets. Other than today's break, they have been up. Japanese economic data, these are not great numbers either. The market there just doesn't want to pick up. And last data from China, which you don't hear much about, but if you look at it, total contracted sales of the country's 100 property developers, that's the homes and all that, saw a year-over-year drop of 40% in January, and the big boys saw a 70% drop. So expect that you're going to get an infusion of money in China. They're going to do things, they can afford to do them, and they will come to the rescue. They have to, of that industry. It's too important to their whole economy. So those are the things that at least I'm looking at. Now, I want to remind you, if you haven't seen all my information, you might want to. I don't agree with James Bullard. I don't agree with other people. I am still of the opinion by the second half of the year, inflation concerns will start to abate. I do think they'll be strong in the first quarter, very strong. But I also happen to think that there's pricing power of the big S&P companies and the like to keep the stock market actually fairly well bid. As for Russia, your guess is as good as anybody else. But I cover all this with my morning futures video, my twice daily written updates. On the weekend, I give you a video for longer term trading using only the weekly charts, price objectives, stop orders, where to move in the marketplace, why to do whatever it is. And I'll be honest with you, I've had my clients pretty much sidelined the past 2 weeks or so in this market because I think it's very difficult to try to catch this type of wave. If you do it, great, but you better be a day trader because the position boys hold on to it and they look good going home. They wake up in the morning like today and it's a whole different world on them. That's what I want you to try to avoid. How do you get this to take a look at it? Just go to our website under free offers or call my staff. They'll have you set up as you're on the phone with them. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a good day. I'll see you this afternoon with our market wrap-ups.